Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about the power of prayer and the law of reversibility. This is a very powerful concept that comes from very deep history. So many people actually associate, prayer with certain religious practices, but actually it goes way into the past, and it's not what we think about what prayer truly is, because in ancient times, they looked at prayer as an art that requires a lot of practice. So why prayer requires a lot of practice if people nowadays look at it just as you place hands together and you ask God for guidance? Because it's much deeper than that, and it's a bit more complex than that. Actually, in ancient Egypt, there were people who were called the netters. Those were people who were actively and deeply and directly communicating with the net. Net was also known as the web of creation. Native Americans called it the web of creation. And now quantum physics call it the quantum field, or the field on which all atoms are connected, united, which means all of us, everything, all material world and non-material world is connected. It is the law of unity. Everything is connected. And then prayer was an art with which you communicate with this web, and therefore you can use the power of prayer to control the reality. Neville Goddard said that the first requirement for prayer is a controlled imagination. You can truly experience a lot of success with prayer if your mind is constantly, impulsively jumping from one thought to another. You need to gain a certain sense of control within your mind, and then you can enter into a peaceful state where the second part to prayer comes into action, and it is feeling. Neville Goddard said feeling is the secret, right? But it goes way deeper. Actually, in Mark 11:24, it's been said that what things you desire when you pray, believe that you have received them and you shall have them. So what things you desire when you pray, believe that you have received them and you shall have them. So even this statement, believe that you have received them, actually says feel as you have already received it. And therefore, when you feel like your prayer has already been answered, when you feel like you have already received what you're praying for, you enter into a state in which you directly communicate with the creation. So Neville Goddard said, if your realized prayer produces in you a definite feeling or state of consciousness, then inversely, that particular feeling or state of consciousness must produce your realized prayer. So this is the law of reversibility. It says, for example, that when you are experiencing something wonderful in your life, it produces a state of joy. But from other perspective, a state of joy will produce more wonderful experiences. Or another example, a lack of money produces a fear for money, but fear for money produces more of lack of money. Neville Goddard was talking about this law more deeply. He said all transformations of force are reversible. If heat can produce mechanical motion, so mechanical motion can produce heat. If electricity produces magnetism, magnetism too can develop electric currents, and so on. So the point is that however reality makes you feel, that state of feeling about reality is producing more equal events that are making you feel however you're feeling. And therefore, if you're able to use the art of prayer to enter a state in which what you're praying about is already received, is already present, well, it should happen because it's a law. So the question is only how can we pray correctly so we can truly create some effects in our lives? And the answer is quite simple, but for most people it's not really simple because they are usually attached to their wants and needs, and therefore as long as they actually see them in their physical reality, they feel a lack of them, or they are asking when it will happen. So they fall back into an illusion of separation. You don't truly pray in third dimension, you pray in fourth dimension, where everything already exists, everything is already present. And therefore your state of consciousness is not truly attached to the material world. Your state of consciousness elevates to the level where you recognize that all things exist as a potential. That's actually what Albert Einstein was exploring when he was studying the speed of light. You know, if you take an object and you move it with a speed of light, the object disappears. But it actually hasn't disappeared, it just removed from our visual perspective. It's still present, it still exists, but not in a spectrum of frequencies so we would be able to see it. It kind of became a potential of it until it slows down and it appears once again. But what if all your desires actually exist on a bit higher frequency and you could slower down their vibration by observing it in your imagination? If you could observe whatever you want to see in your imagination and keep returning back to that vision every single day in your, let's say, morning practice or before bed practice, and while observing it, feeling as it's already present, well, then it must happen because it's a law. As long as you're observing what you want to see and keep returning back to that vision while feeling as it's already present, you're using the art of prayer. And obviously, if you're a beginner at it, you can't expect that it will just work. It's like being a beginner in a sport and expecting that you will just be good at a competition. If competition is a symbol of mastering the sport, in metaphysical circles, manifestation is a symbol of mastering the art of prayer. So you need to understand that to master the art of prayer, you need to practice it. And to practice it means that you fail at it many times until you experience some small successes, like synchronicities start happening to you. At this point of human consciousness evolution, so many people are experiencing synchronicities, like certain unexpected events happen for you that kind of initiate your spiritual awakening journey. So many of you have become more aware of numbers like 1111, 333, 444, and so on, because you associate it with something mystical. And so many of you have also started to experience like change of a job that excited you, or you've received unexpected money, or you've met your soulmate, or things like that. All of that is associated with something mystical. And mystical is only what we can truly and fully understand on our intellectual level, but we know that something higher took place. We know that there was kinda God's interference, and it happened for our highest good, for our evolution of consciousness. So when we learn to practice the art of prayer, well, we learn to create more synchronicities in our lives, more serendipities, and the complete purpose is that we create an experience of a human life more pleasant, more meaningful, and obviously more purposeful. So everyone wants to create firstly a life of freedom, and once we experience more freedom, we naturally come to the next stage where we recognize, I want to serve, I want to help others, I want to I don't know, help others to experience more freedom. I want to teach this. I want to build this company. I want to, produce art like what I'm doing, and so on and so on. So the whole point of manifestation truly is to make our lives more beautiful, wonderful, so we can free ourselves and therefore evolve on higher levels. And when I say evolve on higher levels, I truly mean to, become more useful for others as well. But not out of fear, not out of frustration, but out of love for yourself and for others. So how to practice the art of prayer so you can create some effects in your life as well? Well, firstly, find a moment in a day when you will be practicing it. And I suggest to you to do it every single day. And don't jump from one practice to another. I've recognized that in my life, a certain practice was the most powerful when I was sticking to it for at least 2 to 3 months. And if I did, well, I've started seeing effects in my reality. Whatever I wanted to manifest, it started appearing if I was staying consistent with one particular practice. So find a moment in a day when you will dedicate it just to prayer. And when you will find it, then I want you to put into your ears some pleasant music and calm your body down. Because we need to go beyond our analytical mind. Why? Because our analytical mind automatically starts saying that whatever you're visualizing is not possible. So if you're in a meditation, for example, visualizing something, and then your mind goes, oh, it's not here yet, it's not possible, it will never happen, it's because you haven't calmed down this part of the brain that is, active, your frontal lobe that is active when you're thinking. It's the seat of your daily consciousness. It's when your brain is in beta brainwave frequency or higher beta brainwave frequency, and you can't truly experience the whole power of prayer in this state. You need to calm down your body. So begin to calming down your body with slowing and deepening your breathing. Usually, science says that if you are using practice of 6 seconds in breath and 6 seconds out breathing, your brain will calm down more easily into an alpha brainwave frequency. Alpha brainwave frequency is already more relaxed state, more creative state. In this state, you already start to experience some new insights, some creative ideas, some potential solutions to a certain challenge. It's already a very useful state. But for the complete power of prayer, we need to go a little bit deeper. So you keep relaxing your body, you keep relaxing your muscles. And what neuroscientists found out that actually if you focus on empty space, like the volume of your head, and you keep focusing on the volume of your head, or you keep focusing on the volume of your body, and then you go into the volume of the room you're in, and you focus, for example, on the space above your head, and you try to notice how far this infinite space is going. More you're focusing on the empty space or on the volume without focusing on the physical material things, your brain calms down, because now when you're focusing on nothingness, you have nothing to associate yourself with, so you become nothing. And therefore, you don't need to think about anything anymore, and your brain just calms down into a theta brainwave frequency, which is a state of hypnosis. It's a state in which you create a bridge between your conscious and the subconscious mind. And in this state, now your inner vision, your inner imagination becomes very, very vivid and real. You can easily imagine whatever you want to imagine, and you don't think analytically about it anymore. You can easily see yourself already having it. So now the question is only, how can we elevate our emotions so we will feel as what we are seeing in our mind's eye as it's already real? And the answer is, well, whatever you want to see, if it's more money, if it's a certain material thing, if it's going to travel to certain places, make it as realistic as possible. Like, see yourself already being there with other people, and see other people coming to you and celebrating you for being there. If it's money, like, see that certain people you love are coming to you and congratulating you for succeeding at that thing, for selling that thing, or for experiencing that thing that brought you this amount of money, that brought you this success, and experiencing this sense of success, this sense of excitement or gratitude or just inner peace because it happened. Maybe you don't even need to awaken a sense of excitement, but actually think about how would you feel if it actually already happened in the past. Like 1 week ago you got that car, or 1 week ago you received that money, or 1 week ago that healing happened. How would you feel if it would actually already be in the past? Like, you're thinking about it already happened. Like, I don't even need it anymore because I already have it. I don't even need it because it already happened. I feel a sense of peace. So that's how you know which feeling is the most right for your prayer to actually truly produce an effect in your reality. Think about what's the feeling behind knowing it happened in the past, like it already happened, it's already done. And practice it. And be in that state for some time, like for 10, 15 minutes. If you're a beginner to this practice, well, maybe you will be able to keep it for 1 to 2 minutes. But then work on lengthening it. Like, try to maintain it for 5 to 10 minutes. If possible, you can also find some guided meditations. You can find guided meditations on my channel for manifestation or for visualization that will help you with that. And then just end this practice with gratitude and know that it's already done. The second part to this art then is that you change something in your life. Like, you can't be the same person after this kind of a practice anymore. When you finish this prayer and you start your daily life, well, try to maintain this state. Try to create certain reminders in your day that will remind you of this state. That's why I'm sharing daily paintings with you in my videos, because you can associate these paintings with the feelings you've experienced while you're watching a video and hearing some inspiring words. You can associate all these feelings that you experience while watching my videos every time you look at the painting that you've seen in a video. So you can buy copies of my art in our store, AttractPassion.com, place it on the walls and use them as symbols of these feelings, because truly feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret of prayer. And this is the real art behind the prayer. So I want you to really become good at this practice and start with small things, like visualize seeing a blue butterfly, for example, and go into a prayer and just see how you're surrounded with blue butterflies and feel how would you feel, like the sense of beauty, the sense of awe, the sense of reverence for seeing a blue butterfly around you. And then just, start living your life and stay curious. One day maybe this blue butterfly will find you and it will remind you you've created it. And then try something else. Try something else, like little things. Go into a prayer and imagine how a random stranger came to you and complimented you. Something simple as that, and feel happy and grateful that this stranger said some beautiful, nice words to you. And then go and live your life and notice when these things find you. This is how you start, right? Don't make it as big as I want, $10 million without having any success story with it. Start with small, and when you will experience the small successes, then you will naturally start believing into your own power of mind. and then go bigger and resolve challenges that are right now maybe bothering you, and get into a peaceful, grateful state that will resolve and help you to find solutions. So the whole point behind it is that you create a life you love, right? So start loving your life already, and it will be much easier. Start being more grateful in your life, and it will become more easier. Find things to be grateful for every single day. So you don't stay just at practicing prayer in your morning. Your whole life becomes meditation. Your whole life becomes a practice of prayer. You share kindness with others. You share gratitude with others. You share truth and honesty with others. And you share compassion with others. May your whole life becomes a practice of prayer. And see what starts happening after that. If you would like to get just a meditation for this specific topic, what we've been talking today about, let me know. If there will be enough comments, I will post it. I'm actually posting a lot of guiding meditations on our Patreon community. The link is in the description, and you can go there and check it out. My friends, I hope you found great value in today's video. I'm sharing with you lots of love, blessings, and power. And to anyone who would like to get a copy of my art, any of my paintings that resonate with you, go and check out our store, AttractPassion.com, or Etsy store, AttractPassion, where you can find all of my art. Go there, check it out, and my friends, till next time, one love.